This week, we hit the ground in South Carolina, that primary just 2 weeks away, and the former longtime frontrunner Joe Biden staking his campaign on the prospect of minority voters delivering him a victory that could change the narrative after Iowa and New Hampshire. It's the first in the South primary where black voters, for the first time in this election cycle, will be the overwhelming majority, expected to cast up to 2/3 of all ballots in the February 29th primary. For Joe Biden, it could be do or die. After serving as Barack Obama's vice president, Biden's strong connection to minority voters has made this state key to his nomination strategy. He still leads in the polls and has the lion's share of endorsements here, but after lackluster finishes in Iowa and New Hampshire, his supporters are doing everything they can to make sure he has a strong finish.
We ask you, God, to please put your arms around Vice President Biden and all the other candidates, Lord, all of them.
What this group of 100 black females is about is activism. The self-proclaimed Reckoning Crew, whose oldest member is 94, is giving heart and soul to the Biden campaign.
If you want to read through it first,
that's
so you have be confident when you're talking to them.
As their name suggests, they're not to be trifled with.
Well, I'm calling to see if you are planning to support Joe Biden in the 2020 South Carolina primary. Well, thank you very much. All righty, thank you. Bye-bye.
So that sounded like a successful one for you.
Yes, it was.
He or she just immediately said.
Yes, she did.
Okay.
Right now, they're a solid wall of support for the former vice president, but if that's not in the cards...
Now, what about somebody like Amy Klobuchar, Pete Buttigieg, Michael Bloomberg?
All of them be better than what we have. But Vice President Joe Biden is the man of the hour. I think he has the guts and also the experience.
In the chamber of the South Carolina State House, State Rep Todd Rutherford, who's been in office since 1998, worries Biden's experience isn't enough to beat Donald Trump, so he's leaning towards Michael Bloomberg.
This is not about Democrats falling in love. This is about Democrats making sure that Donald Trump can no longer be the president. And people are so focused on that. And we are not interested in somebody that cannot win.
He keeps saying, I can win South Carolina, I am electable. You just don't buy that?
It begins to sound like an excuse. He appears to be a step behind. He's not saying the things that we need to hear as South Carolinians to believe that he's able to take on Donald Trump.
Do you really think that Democrats can beat him?
Oh, yeah, we can. Will we? I'm not sure.
If anyone can be considered a kingmaker in South Carolina, it's Congressman and Majority Whip James Clyburn. He's represented the state for more than 2 decades. Each presidential election cycle, Clyburn has a can't-miss fish fry for national candidates to introduce themselves to South Carolinians. He has yet to endorse any of the candidates this year.
So tell me what is more important. Is it issues that affect African Americans, or is it, I don't care who it is, as long as they beat Donald Trump?
There's a combination of both. Sure, we want to defeat Donald Trump, but defeating Donald Trump and losing legislative seats, losing redistricting, which will be taking place 2 years from now, what have we gotten? I think that for us to maintain our down ballot strength, that has to come into the equation. Sure, Donald Trump is anathema to black people. He ought to be to every American.
Donald Trump said it's been great for African Americans and employment. He certainly has some African American backing.
That is one of the 31 lies he told during that State of the Union address. The fact of the matter is, I talk to African Americans. I go to church with them, and I know they're not doing better. If you're working 3 jobs, I told someone earlier today, and I mean this, if you go with unemployment numbers to determine people's status, then you have to say that slaves were in very good shape because they were fully employed.
Even if Clyburn's not publicly picking favorites, his grandson has decided appearing in an ad for Pete Buttigieg.
He's the change we need.
But the biggest surprise in South Carolina has been the support that billionaire businessman Tom Steyer is attracting. After spending more than $14 million in advertising here and lots of FaceTime, Steyer is polling second among black voters. The chair of the South Carolina Democratic Black Caucus, JOHNNIE Cordero, is convinced Steyer can win.
We've watched Tom Steyer numbers here in South Carolina really has seemed to have a surge.
Okay.
How have you done it?
I hate to say that it was predictable, but it certainly was. I guess the shortest answer is that Tom Steyer listens, and that probably trumps everything.
For Cordero, there is only one issue that matters.
Here's the one thing that Tom Steyer has that the other candidates don't have. He doesn't have a record of taking offensive actions and supporting offensive policies against the African American community. And that includes Biden and the Crime Act of 1994. That includes Bloomberg with his stop and frisk. That includes Amy Klobuchar as a prosecutor, because a whole host of them.
Hi everyone, George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel, and don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.